Everyone keeps asking, are people leaving Colorado? And the annoying answer is yes, no, and kind of. Because depending on which report you read, Denver and Arapahoe either look like they are losing a huge number of people or that they're growing slightly. So which one is actually true? Because two reports can sound like they disagree and the headlines will go crazy talking about this. But really what the reports are telling you are the same exact story in different ways. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the 5 Denver suburbs that are cooling down right now and why that's happening. And then the 5 areas that are heating up and where the smart buyers are choosing to live. And of course, what this means for you if you're buying or selling. I'm Heather O'Leary. I'm your Colorado homegirl. I have been living and working in the Denver metro area for years. And my team and I help buyers and sellers all the time to make really good decisions about the location that they're going to live. Now, before we jump into it, I do want to explain where my data is coming from because I have done a significant amount of research. I mean, literally downloaded pages of spreadsheets and analyzed them, not just read the news articles. What's interesting to me is that both of the reports I'm looking at are the Federal Census Bureau estimates, and then I'm also looking at the CSI, the Colorado State Demography Office numbers, and the models are not exactly the same. The state can use more local data like births, deaths, school enrollment, utility connections, and the numbers actually might come out a little bit differently. The other issue is migration. Domestic migration only counts people moving between states or countries. Total net migration also includes international immigration. And this matters very specifically because Denver and Arapahoe counties specifically have a lot of international migration. Between 2021 and 2024, if someone moved into Denver County from another country and then later they moved to another county or state, the census counted that as a domestic loss. So when you are seeing these really, really huge domestic migration numbers, it does not automatically mean that long-term Denver residents are all somehow moving out of the city. That is dramatic, and that's what headlines are trying to get you to read. And that's also only partly how the data is counted. People actually confuse migration versus total population growth. A county can actually lose people through migration and still grow overall if it had more births than deaths. And that's why Denver and Arapahoe can show migration losses but still have slight overall population growth. So the real takeaway is going to be this. Colorado is growing much more slowly than it used to during its boom years. The growth has shifted from some of the core metros to the mountain counties and counties where housing can actually be built. And so when someone says everyone is leaving Colorado, we need to slow that down and we need to fact check it, okay? So the better question really is who is moving and where are they going and why are they going there and why is that actually going to impact you if you are deciding to move in the Denver area? Here's the interesting part. If we are looking at the cumulative resident population change, the Denver metro region had about 715,000 in 2020 and now we have 740,000. That's a 3.5% increase in general residents, the population of Denver. So is everybody somehow leaving the Denver metro area? No, that is not happening. But there are areas that are cooling. And so let's jump into that part. Number one area that is cooling is the downtown Denver area. What's interesting though is that it was actually just down last year. It's actually still up 4% from 2020. But what we're actually noticing is it's gentrifying so that there are quite a few more high-end areas, places like Rhino, Low-High, or Sobo. If you want to know what those mean, basically they are areas that are older and they are having their homes scraped and rebuilt into these million-dollar homes, maybe multi-million-dollar homes. And places that are really wealthy areas like Cherry Creek or Wash Park or University Hill or Platt Park, all of those areas, they still have their wealth to them and people still really want to live in those areas. It's really just the condo market in downtown Denver that is struggling, and that's mostly because now we are all working from home. So there's less people who need to commute. All right. Number 2, area that I think is so interesting that we would put it on the cooling list. So Highlands Ranch specifically has been cooling. And what I think is interesting about that is that Highlands Ranch is this, 1980s master planned suburb on the south side of the 470 ring. And people love it. I mean, my kids go to school in that area. I have tons of friends who love it. There are trails all over back in there. And also people are moving out into some of the other areas that, like Castle Pines and the Canyons and Sterling Ranch, because they are more interested in brand new homes that have open floor plans and absolutely beautiful kitchens with granite everything and stainless appliances, and they can get really, really great deals from builders. But what I think is interesting is that the people who bought in Highlands Ranch thought that they really wanted to live there, and now they're starting to really want a new home community where everything feels a little bit newer, and that's great. But how do you know where you want to live? I mean, it can be a real problem for people. So that's why I actually created this really awesome areas quiz, because Denver is huge. You don't want to land in the wrong place because you're not going to want to stay there, and then it's going to cost you a lot of money. You're going to have to move again. It's a huge pain. Take this quiz. It's super fun. It's going to match to your lifestyle and what you like to do and what's important to you. And I would be happy, of course, to chat over the results, but I'm really excited to see what you think of it. Area number 3 and 4, I am going to group together. So Lyons and Louisville are both down significantly in their population from 2020, 4% and 3% respectively. Basically, people are moving from these areas into less expensive, newer communities like Longmont and Superior. And it is kind of the Boulder bubble is expanding quite a bit. And so those areas are still amazing, but also they're getting much more expensive. Boulder it's really its own niche, and people love to live there for so many reasons. And I have a whole nother video on that. It's about the luxury areas of the Denver metro region. But Lyons and Louisville are those areas where people are trying to make ends meet and trying to also still access Boulder. So they're moving other places instead. And I think that number 5 is so interesting. Morrison is down actually the highest. It's down 8%. But honestly, it's a very small sample size of only 364 residents. And if you drive through Morrison, you'll notice it's pretty small. I also think that there's a lot of people moving out of the mountain towns because there are issues with insurance due to wildfires and the drought affecting water supply. Morrison is still a fantastic place to live. I actually really love it there, and I would love to live in Morrison, and I travel there probably weekly to either hang out, ride my bike, or just be by the river or have dinner. It's amazing. Okay, I'm going to stop here right in the middle and just tell you there are a ton of places with no real significant change in their population, and those are Arvada, Boulder, Wheat Ridge, Cherry Hills, Greenwood Village, Golden, Centennial, Lakewood, Longmont, and Littleton. And all of those areas are basically just staying as they are. There's still a lot of growth with smaller pockets of new build communities in those areas, but not quite as much as what I'm about to talk about. So where are these people going? Well, they are going to areas that have land so that they can buy brand new houses, because brand new is beautiful. Area number 1, Loveland, actually grew 7% up to 81,000 people. And honestly, the downtown is super super cute. Area number 2 is Broomfield, up 7% as well to 80,000. Broomfield is awesome. It's up and coming. There are pockets of it that are older, but you can get some really great deals in Broomfield, and there's plenty of land kind of merging to the north that it's very, very easy to pick out something brand new, or of course buy one of the older homes for a little bit of a discount. Area number 3 is Superior. That one is up 4% to 13,000 residents, and Superior is really, really pretty because you have amazing views of the Flatirons and the Rocky Mountains, and you also have really direct access kind of straight through Golden to White Ranch and El Dorado Canyon. And so there's really fantastic gravel rides, hiking, and you're still kind of in the heart of the city, and a lot of the area is definitely newer, and so it just feels clean and beautiful. Okay, let's move down south, and I do want to kind of merge all three of these together in some ways, but Lone Tree is by far growing the very most. I actually think Ridgegate is included as part of Lone Tree. It's up 8% to 15,000 residents, and when I talk about Lone Tree, I'm not just talking about that little pocket on the southwest side of 470 and I-25. I'm also talking about the Ridgegate community on the east side of I-25, and this place is absolutely growing. I personally have watched it grow for some time and thought to myself, that place is going to be the new place to be. It's hip, it's got views, it's got direct access to downtown Denver, and it's not really that far from the mountains. It's kind of the area that's merging with Parker and with Castle Rock. Speaking of Castle Rock is growing the most out of all of these areas, and there's a reason, because it's so cute. It's got the Rock, they have downtown events all the time. It's a really, really great place to live, and the reason it's growing so much is because there's just land all around for builders, and it's a really great place to get a fantastic deal and a fantastic home. And area number 5 is the in-between Lone Tree and Castle Rock, called Castle Pines. That actually grew 41% to 15,000 residents, and the reason it is growing is because all of that land between Parker and the highway is being built up to a place called the Canyons, and I have a whole nother video about the luxury areas of both Castle Pines and the Canyons that you are welcome to go explore. These areas are absolutely beautiful because you have views just like you had in the Lone Tree Ridgegate area, but you also have a little bit more of a suburban feel to it, and the hills are kind of rolling. There's a nice reservoir over there. The only downside I would say to any of these new build areas is that there are not as many trees, which is, you know, a little sad when you moved to Colorado, but I mean, we are really a high desert here in Colorado, and so if you purchase a home in one of these new build communities, you're gonna have to do some landscaping, and it could cost you $20,000 to $50,000 depending on what you want to put in, but eventually it's gonna have a lot of beautiful mature trees just like Littleton and Highlands Ranch and Cherry Hills. If you are a buyer, definitely just choose to live where is right for you, and take my quiz and let's talk and do a lot of exploring and researching. Watch some more of my videos. If you're a seller, then we need to drill into the data, and we need to get your home priced as well as humanly possible and staged perfectly and have the absolute best marketing. I would love to chat with you, so give me a call. I'm Heather O'Leary, your Colorado homegirl with eXp Realty.